Marketing is actually pretty simple. Everything you should know about marketing but don't. By the end of this video, you're going to know 5 keys to marketing that you really should know. Whether you're a leader, an entrepreneur, you're in marketing, these 5 keys are going to help you with marketing. I'm Jono White, founder and principal consultant of Clarity. We work with leaders around the world. And thank you so much for subscribing and following. If you haven't done that already, please do that now. It really helps us when you subscribe, follow, like, share our content so that more leaders can become the best they can be. 5 things about marketing, everything you don't know about marketing but should. Okay, the first thing about marketing is to be multi-channel. What do I mean by that? When it comes to marketing, too often we get scared off. And we look at marketing as leaders and we think, okay, I know I need to get to that, but let me just nail down my strategy first before I get involved. And there is truth to that at some level. But the reason I say multi-channel is I'm a big believer in this idea of firing bullets, not cannonballs. It's a Jim Collins idea. And I've talked about it before. It's this idea of saying, instead of just trying to line up one big cannonball and hope it hits home, or you have all your resources lined up and you're going to just fire them, when you have your next big idea, why not hold them back and just fire bullets and learn from firing bullets until you find something that really works and then load up your cannonballs. It's because of this that I say multi-channels. You are probably doing one channel of marketing well already, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Instagram. Maybe for you it's word of mouth, and that's how you've done your business for 20 years. Maybe you're the CEO of a large company and it's been very traditional marketing, and you're starting to realize that you're going to have to do some new and different things. But if we look back, one thing that your organization does really well is you do traditional marketing really well. You send out direct mail, and it has worked really well for you. It might be diminishing, but it has worked really well for you in the past. So multi-channel. And what I mean by that in terms of what you should know about marketing is you should give yourself a license to try things. For the entrepreneur, I want to challenge you to try 5 different things in marketing in the next month. I'm not talking about paying $1,000 in Facebook ads. I'm talking about putting up some content. If you haven't ever tried Facebook before, create a page and put up some content. If you've never done networking before, then book to attend a local Chamber of Commerce sort of event and go and meet some people. Now, are these foolproof, massive plans that are definitely going to work? Well, no, they're not definitely going to work. In fact, some of them won't. And that's the second thing that you should know about marketing is great marketing is about failing. Great marketing is about failing because failing is actually what an A/B test is. An A/B test is, you could say it's pick a winner, A or B, but you're actually choosing for something to fail. You're choosing to put 2 things forward and for one of them to actually not do as well as the other. And so another thing you should know about marketing is you need to embrace failure. Try some things. And when they don't work, don't kick yourself and go, I'm no good at this marketing. Or if you're in a large organization, don't go, see, that's why we don't push into digital. That's why we stick with traditional. Instead, go, great, we're a step closer. That might sound cliched, but it's so true with marketing. You have to try. And the beautiful thing about digital marketing, which is where so much of marketing is today, is that you get data. You will know what worked better than what. You can set it up so you know. Even if you can't set it up initially, right now just go and try some things, okay? Multi-channel and marketing. Great marketing means failing. So I want you to go out there, particularly if you're an entrepreneur, go and try 5 different things in marketing this month and see what happens. If you're a church leader, go and try 5 things that are different. A school leader, go and try 5 different things with your team that you haven't done before. Not big resource things, just little things. Just dabble and try some different things. Not to overload your team, but just think outside the box, try a few different things, and then review. Yes, you want to be strategic, but I think sometimes if we try too hard to be strategic, we can be the victim of that whole idea of done is better than perfect, and we never get to the done because we're trying too hard to hit the perfect. What you want to do is definitely embrace done is better than perfect, and then refine and refine and refine. And as you do that, you will actually end up on a really successful campaign and a successful channel. So multi-channel, great marketing means failing. And then the third thing that I'd say, everything you don't know about marketing but should. Okay, I would say video is king. Video is king, at least right now. Audio is catching up pretty quickly. Podcasts are a pretty big deal right now, and you should definitely think about podcasts, but really, I can't see any other way than saying video is king. And if you're not making video, then you should be. This is a video. You are watching this, literally, right now. You are watching a video. If you're listening to this on the podcast, then you are what I just said about how podcasts are closing the gap and audio is almost queen in content, I believe. Video is king. Maybe audio and podcasts are queen, but and you have things like Clubhouse. If you haven't heard of that, it's a new social media platform that's audio. So yes, audio might be catching up, but video is so important. What do I need to make the perfect video for my brand? And you need a smartphone. You need a smartphone, really. That's, if you don't know what to do for your brand, then start with your personal brand. Okay, let me give you a couple of ideas around a video in case you're going, Jono, how much would the film crew cost? It's like, stop. Okay, let's go back a step and work on it. So if you're a leader, let's say that you're the CEO of a small business. Let's say you're an entrepreneur. Let's say you are on the executive team of a school, or you're in middle management in a large company. Let's start with your personal brand. A bit easier because we're not talking about company branding and marketing. The first thing I'd say in terms of video is, how many people know your story? How many people know your story? Story is incredibly powerful because in every story is a seed of the vision and the values of that person, that organization. How many people know your story? If they don't, when is the last time or how could you make a video where you just share some of your story? That's not hard. A 2-minute video where you just share a bit of your story of how you got to the role you're in. That's a really easy video for you to do that helps for people to catch a little bit of who you are. The second thing around videos is who is someone you work with or a client who absolutely loves you, and how could you do a quick video chatting with them? So once again, in personal branding, it's just about maybe you just have a conversation and you pick a topic. So this is where someone's literally filming. It's you sitting on a couch and you got Bob there who you work with, and you say, hey, just having a quick chat with Bob who does this role at our organization, and we've been hearing a lot from our customers about blah, and so we thought we'd just have a quick chat about that. Bob, tell us what's been happening. And that might be 5 minutes, and you send that just to your customers, which might only be 20 people. And 5 people might watch it. But those 5 people are engaging with you for, in a way that you haven't previously been. That's just a tiny way that could happen. Okay, let me give you one more idea around what sort of thing you could do with a video. A tour of your office. Do people know in your friends and family and network or your customers, do they know what happens in your office? And is there a way that you can take a video that's, even if it's a minute long, just to say, hey, just wanted to welcome you to our office. If you haven't had a chance to be here before, let me show you around. You show them around, someone's just filming you, or you're doing it as a selfie, and say, this is it, and thank you so much for your business, we appreciate you. So there are a couple of ideas, okay? Video is king, so if you're not doing video, you should be. Everything you don't know about marketing, but should, okay? I would say the next one would be, don't get too caught up in the hype, okay? It's not all about TikTok. If you're a business-to-business organization and you've been thriving off word of mouth for 30 years, but things are a bit hard at the moment, the answer isn't to launch into TikTok. It might be, but it's probably not. We can go from extremes, right? Where we don't do anything, and then we go, if I'm going to do something, then I need to just find the most excellent, epic thing I can do. We need to go and be cutting edge. It's like, okay, well, cutting edge is great, but why don't we start by first just getting the edge instead of cutting edge? If you haven't been focusing much on marketing, then I would say, yes, the hype is true around how phenomenal the growth is in things like TikTok, but there's a lot of potential in platforms that are right in front of your face that you're probably already on. A couple of things I would ask you in terms of, if you're going, I need to do more with marketing, that's why you're watching this video, I need to do more with marketing, but where should I start? Okay, let's ask a couple of quick questions. Instead of launching into TikTok or Clubhouse, like I mentioned, then let me ask you this question. How many email subscribers do you have? How many people have subscribed? And if the answer is 0, how could you get email subscribers? Do you have a form on your website? Do you have a high quality piece of content? Is there a particular how-to guide? Is there a particular paper that you produced at some point about your special area, about your skill set that people just lap up? Can you put that up so that people can download that in exchange for joining your mailing list? Mailing lists may not be what they used to be in terms of just being the most incredible things ever, but they're actually still very powerful, and probably more powerful than TikTok for most brands and most people. So how could you get more subscribers? If you have subscribers, you're watching this and you think, you know what, Jono, I have 10,000 subscribers. When's the last time you spoke to them? When's the last time you thought of interesting ways to communicate with them? A couple of ideas. Capture some testimonials. Just go to all of your customers and say, hey, quick question, can we just get a testimonial, just 2 sentences of what you love working with us? Please, that'd be awesome. And then send out an email to your subscriber list with a few of the testimonials in there through something like MailChimp, and then a couple of links to something relevant in your industry, or it doesn't need to be rocket science. Communicate with them. Let them know. When's the last time you communicated a massive win? So I mentioned this, I've mentioned this in a few videos already, but this week, as of right now in 2021, we're about to hit 1,000 leaders who've done our 7 questions on leadership. So that's an example of a fact that I'm now thinking, how can I go and communicate that with people who've subscribed to Clarity? So what are the wins for you? Have you moved office? Have you gone past a certain amount of customers? Have you gone past a certain amount of staff? Did you have a particularly feel-good story about one of your customers? And if so, for any of those, have you told everyone about it that you could have? So that's why I would say that, email, do you have a subscriber list? If not, then how can you just use existing things like your website to capture people through a form? If you have a subscriber list, forget TikTok and just start actually communicating with them, and find some really great ways to communicate with your list. LinkedIn, if you're business to business, LinkedIn is amazing. LinkedIn is just fantastic. The numbers are pretty crazy around the world of how many people are on LinkedIn. So if you're in anything to do with business to business, then I'd highly recommend that you engage in LinkedIn. And even if it's just spending an hour a week or 15 minutes a week on LinkedIn, just to familiarize yourself with it. It's right there. It's free to join. You can connect with the people you know, and it's a touch point to say, hello, I exist. So that's one of the things you could do. Facebook is still incredibly popular, and Facebook ads are great too. So yes, the hype, those things are real, and there are amazing things happening there, but don't believe it in terms of I have to be doing that or nothing at all. That's not true. Most of the great marketing happening right now, some of it might be on TikTok, but most of it is on places like Facebook, LinkedIn, through email marketing, through Google Ads. So just check out some of the really solid, boring, traditional. Well, they're not really traditional, but even the traditional ways, check them out too. So the 5th thing that, in terms of everything you don't know about marketing but should, what's the 5th thing that you should know? I'm going to call this one the power of the personal message. The power of the personal message. Let me give you 2 scenarios. Okay? You are, you're an entrepreneur. You're busy. You've had a big day, meetings, putting out fires. You get home. you're scrolling on Facebook. It's after dinner, there's some TV on, and you're scrolling on Facebook. And you're looking through, and you come across an ad about an accountant. And you think, oh, and you keep scrolling. That's, have I met John somewhere? I'm not sure. Keep scrolling. Now, option 2, you jump onto Facebook, you open it up, and you see a new message. You open your message, or actually more likely, you jump into either email or LinkedIn, and you have a personal message from John, who's an accountant in your area. John says, hey Betty, we met, I believe we met a few months ago at this event, and I just thought I'd drop you a line and just let you know about a couple of changes that are happening around financial regulation for our state. So here's a couple of links. Hope you find this helpful. By the way, I'd love to do a coffee at some point just to get to know you a bit more. So which of those 2 options, the personal email or LinkedIn message or the random ad about John, is cutting through the noise? It's the personal message. Now, it's not one or the other. Really, ultimately, you want to do both. But something you should know about marketing is there's great value in the personal message. It's why the phone call is still so powerful. It's why the meeting is still so powerful, because when you get in front of someone, when you speak to someone on the phone, it cuts through the noise. You can have the conversation that leads to whatever outcomes for you as an organization. So if you're wondering where to start, or if you are trying lots of things, then try the personal message. Think of, even if it's a starting point, let me give you a starting point. Think of 10 people that would be really pivotal for you to connect with, just 10. So once again, if you're a CEO of a massive organization, you're just wanting to take it to the next level, who are 10 people of equivalent organizations or that might be interested in catching up with you, or people that are a step ahead of you, or people that are sort of the leaders of the dream organization you'd love to bring on board to help you with your organization. Whoever they are, how can you send them a personal message? Or your dream client? Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Who are some people in your network that you could send a personal message on Messenger, LinkedIn, or an email, and just say, hey, and send them a personal message. Personal messages are incredibly powerful and underrated. Yes, they do take a little bit longer than sending out a mass email, but if you can send 50 personal messages, well, in this case, we're talking about 10. If you can send 10 personal messages, there's a really good chance one of those people will come back to you, and it'll lead to a coffee, it'll lead to a meeting, and regardless as to whether you then win a piece of work from that, what you're doing is you are gaining another touch point. And so that's one other thing I'd say is marketing is all about touch points. Okay, you don't go from never heard of you to spending 50 grand with you in one touch point. A touch point is saw a billboard, had a conversation about, saw them on Facebook, read a testimonial from someone I know, spoke to such and such who's a client of theirs, ran into them at a trade show and had a conversation. You might think the number of touch points, you'd hope it would be low, but it's actually quite high for how many you need for most industries. I remember chatting to someone who was saying that it was possibly around 15 for service industries. 15 touch points. That's why the personal message is so great. One touch point for free. So have a think about that. There you go. Everything you don't know about marketing but should. If this has helped you to get clear around marketing for you as a leader, then wherever you're watching or listening, write the word clarity. Everything we do is about helping people to get clarity. And make sure, again, it really helps us out when you subscribe, follow, like, or share. So please do that now. That helps us to get the word out to help more leaders to become the best they can be. And so thank you so much for that. It also keeps you in the loop with all of our content. I mentioned before 1,000 answers to the 7 questions on leadership. They're all up on our website, consultclarity.org. So check them out. And the other thing that I'd highly recommend to do is there's a few links in the description. We do some scorecards for lead generation, and just to be honest with you in terms of marketing. So go and check them out, even if it's just to see, that's a good idea. The scorecards that we do, which are fantastic, one of them is what's your leadership style? So you can find out in less than 10 minutes your leadership style. And the other one is how do you rate as a leader? You literally just get, within 2 minutes for that one, across 5 key traits of a leader, you'll get a score. And you can see, how do you rate as a leader? There's lots of other great content on consultclarity.org. So thank you for watching or listening, and I'll catch you next time.